Hello and welcome to my Hersheypark ride ranking by Coasters&Clips. In this video, I'll be going through all the rides at Hersheypark and ranking them in a video so you know which rides to prioritize on your visit. And there definitely will be some hot takes in this video, so be ready for that. And one more thing I would like to get out of the way is that we're assuming that I only have one ride on each of these because the waits were decently long when I went, and I was only able to get one ride on each of these rides, and I was not able to ride Jolly Rancher or Laugh Track. Anyways, number 10, Trailblazer. Trailblazer is a very good mine train in my opinion because it is not as rough as other ones and is definitely one of the better ones. While it doesn't have a lot of forces, this ride is actually really fun, and the helix at the very end has some good laterals, and it's overall a pretty good ride for families. And it's pretty cool being able to go over to Storm Runner Q and go through a bunch of terrain in this ride. For example, like I said, the Storm Runner Q. And then number 9, Comet. Comet is a very good family wooden coaster, but I never got to ride it with the buzz bars, so it probably wasn't as good when I rode it. But I got one ride in the front row, and it was a pretty good ride. I mean, there wasn't really any airtime, but it was pretty fun considering that you go through the lake and right around Sky Rush. It's a very scenic ride, even if it isn't the most intense thing ever. Moving on to number 8, Super Duper Looper. This ride is a handful to say, but it's a pretty decent ride. It is not very forceful besides the loop, which is definitely a very forceful part. But it does feature a lot of cool elements, like diving around all the terrain in the second half. It's a very fun ride, and it's a very weird ride at the same time. I don't really understand what the purpose of this ride is, but I think that's why it's good. It's kind of just a weird and quirky ride that fits this area. Moving on to number 7, which is Great Bear. A lot of people have put this a lot higher, but the problem is, this park's lineup is just so good. Because this ride is actually really good and a huge step up from Super Duper Looper. This ride is a decent invert considering it's unique and has terrain interaction. But the only problem is, it isn't the most forceful one, and I have Montu at my home park, so I'm kind of spoiled about that. Moving on to number 6, which is Lightning Racer. I found the Lightning Racer to be very underrated. This was a pretty good GCI, and it's dueling too, so that adds to it. While there isn't too much airtime, there is a few airtime moments in the low to the ground parts of this ride, and it is fun when you hit the airtime moments because they are pretty good. I do really appreciate this ride, and I think it's an essential when you go to Hersheypark because of the dueling. Number 5, Canemonium. This is, again, a pretty low placement for this type of ride. But this is still a really good ride. But the problem is, once again, this park's lineup is very good. This is a pretty good B&M Hyper. I wouldn't put it towards the top of the list, but it's pretty good. It has some good airtime moments, like the Speed Hill or the Outer Bank. And it has some cool park interaction with it going around the fat button at the front. Moving on to number 4, which is Fahrenheit. I think this ride is very underrated, and definitely you should be in this spot, because this is a very compact ride, and you can see it all from the pathway, and it's a very beautiful ride with the color scheme, and it's very intense. The first drop gives a great ejector. The Norwegian loop, I believe it's called, gives great positives. The 2 corkscrews are snappy, and it has one very good airtime hill in the ride. And it's overall just a great Intamin and a unique one. Number 3 is Sky Rush. Sky Rush is a Intamin hypercoaster that's classified as a wing coaster, but only some of the seats are wing coasters. But I got back row, but I did not get back left, as some people say that's the magic seat of this ride or whatever. I did not get to experience that, so therefore it is ranked here. I actually thought, while this ride is extremely forceful, it's one of the roughest rides in the park. The rattle was bad, and that kind of took away from the ride experience. Moving on to number 2, which is Storm Runner. The main reason Storm Runner is here is for that launch. This is the first hydraulic launch I've ever done, and it's just absolutely amazing. It doesn't even feel like a launch, it accelerates so fast. And it's just such a fun ride. It has elements like the top hat, which give great airtime, and the flying snake dive, which is a pretty cool double inversion that gives some cool sensations of hang time and snappiness at the same time. It's a very fun ride, but a little bit short. Moving on to number 1, which by a long shot was Wildcats Revenge. This was one of the best RMCs I've ever been on, and I don't know why. I looked at this ride and I was expecting a mid-tier RMC, actually mid to low tier RMC. But this thing is my second favorite RMC, and I prefer it over rides like Iron Gawasi. The only ride I prefer over it as an RMC is Steel Vengeance, which is saying something. This ride has some of the strongest airtime I've ever experienced, and it's just great. But yeah, that is my ranking of Hersheypark, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you thought, and I understand that I had a lot of hot takes in this video, but it is my opinion. And remember that I did not ride Jolly Rancher Remix, or the Wild Mouse, or Laugh Track, and not the Kiddie Coaster, of course. And that's about it. Thank you for watching this video, and please leave a like and subscribe.